Hello, everyone. This presentation aims to build a theoretical structure for understanding the role of social media in fueling revolutions, social dissent, and disorder, considering three different disciplinary perspectives: organizational change, conflict resolution, and digital media studies. More explicitly, it depends on studies of the 2011 Arab Spring surveys, telecommunication empirical data, and social media websites. It also refers to literature that examines the relationship between social media engagement and civil engagement. Building on this foundation, this article analyzes and attempts to evaluate the impact of real and fake social media postings by individuals, state and non-state actors regarding the Arab Spring. The use of social media, which was originally considered to have a constructive influence on spreading democracy, have been significantly considered in recent years as a tool of behavior modification and a means of fourth word generation. It has also been perceived lately as a threat to democracy and as a recruitment tool for extremists and terrorists. The scope of the literature review was limited to articles published between 2011 and 2019. The reason for the initial cutoff was literature in years before 2011 was extremely negligible, provided that social media political mobilization is a comparatively new trend. According to companies' websites such as Facebook, it was invented in 2004, YouTube 2005, as for Twitter, it was 2006. We have selected 2011 as a starting point for the literature review on the role of Twitter and Facebook in social media political mobilization, as it appeared to have started building momentum with the start of the Arab Spring in 2011. Peer-reviewed journal articles were carefully chosen and evaluated through a systematic method consistent with the prior literature review studies. According to the World Bank, Egypt's population in 2010 was about 84 million people, with about 70 million cell phones, and at least 10% of these cell phones are smartphones that could post and repost to social media during the revolution. And from this chart, we will notice that most Egyptians in 2010 and 2011 have used the internet mostly for voice over IP and posting social media or instant messaging. Furthermore, in 2011, more than half of the users in Egypt access the internet at least once a day. A day after the ousting of the Tunisian regimes, calls to massive demonstration in Egypt started through these three pages that you see on the screen on Facebook. For the 25th of January, as it was the Egyptian Police Appreciation Day, it is an official holiday in Egypt. No one expected what happened on January 25th, 2011. Over 500,000 people took out to the streets in 8 cities, participating in demonstrations against the government. The public never expected this positive response to social media calls of demonstration. The call for more demonstrations were renewed via social media and opposition TV stations such as Al Jazeera and its social media pages, calling for millions to participate on Friday, January 28, 2011. That day was called the Friday of Anger. The Egyptian government recognized the critical role of Facebook and Twitter in mobilizing protesters, so a distinctive decision was made. All telecommunications were to be disconnected in Egypt, including the internet. Social media was also used to tell the protesters by other protesters how to combat tear gas or where the riot police are and their movements. Furthermore, the hashtag that you see here, January 25th, was the highest tweeted hashtag in Egypt during the revolution. By the 27th of January 2011, the Egyptian regime realized that demonstrations more coordinated on social media and in turn ordered the disconnection of all communication, including internet, SMS, and BlackBerry services and from Egypt and inside Egypt was completely cut off from the world. Now, during the Second Egyptian Revolution of 2011, the Muslim Brotherhood president was ousted via another social media revolution, collecting over 22 million petition demanding him to step down, and that it was also fueled by the internet. Fake news has also found its way into mainstream media, largely through the journalists' over-reliance on online sources or through lack of information regarding an event, especially in wartime and during conflicts. For example, some well-known mainstream media outlets such as Al Jazeera TV and Al Arabiya TV have recently produced false information through deliberately made-up news stories to divert the public for various reasons, especially during and after the 2011 upswings. For example, in this photo, Al Jazeera News and its websites deliberately published and broadcast as fake news. If you look at the top left corner, it says Cairo, and in the bottom right corner, it says Port Said. You can see here clearly the man with the white striped t-shirts in both pictures. How could he be in both cities at the same time? To understand the present information infrastructure, three aspects can be broken down regarding misinformation or fake news and how these are spread via online platforms. First, the kind of substance being created and shared. Second, the motives behind such creation and sharing. And third, how the content is distributed. Fake news required beliefs about an authentic or legitimate set of news methods. These suggest that when users believe that a news site is journalistic or legitimate in nature, they can be manipulated and convinced to believe untruthful information. In the background playing is a 2011 Nobel Prize nominee, the White Helmets, also known as the propaganda wing of the Syrian al-Qaeda branch al-Nusra Front, rehearsing a fake chemical weapon attack in Syria. And here is the Egyptian government's answer to fake or misleading online posts. Was created as an anti-cybercrime law. The new law was initiated at combating extremist and terrorist organizations that use the internet to publicize their ideology among the youth. Furthermore, the law prohibits online distribution or posting of information regarding the movement of the army and the police, and criminalizes the hacking into information systems, of course. And lately, social media sites are trying to address the issue of misinformation by providing facts by using real humans or bot fact checkers. For example, Donald Trump is posting about mail-in ballots. You'll find a small link underneath it to get the facts about the mail-in ballots. Social media platforms, and particularly 4chan and 8chan, in addition, of course, to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, bring together several advantages for recruiters of radical and terrorist organizations. The global reach of social media platforms enable groups to broadcast events to a wider range of people, and by enhancing the prospects of interactive communications. New opportunities for supporting groups and individuals are presented, beside the additional chance of contacting them directly. Radical and terrorist recruiters may use social media platforms to search online communities looking for more promising and sympathetic individuals using complex profiling techniques. Social media recruitments for new membership by radical organizations such as the Proud Boys or terrorist organizations such as Islamic State has been on the rise in recent years. The matrix of analysis was to conduct a survey as a quantitative approach to gain an in-depth understanding of the role of social media in fueling revolutions. The method aimed to obtain data from purposely selected group of individuals rather than from a statistically representative sample of the broader population. Using the snowball sampling due to limited time and funds, this group consists of 20 Egyptians, 10 males and 10 females, living in Cairo, ranging between the age of 18 and 34 at the time of the revolution. The survey questionnaires was translated into Arabic and conducted over the phone or via social media communiques between the dates of August 1st, 2020 and August 7th, 2020. And here are some of the key findings. 90% of participants have participated in the revolution via social media or in person or both. 80% of the participants did participate in at least one of two of the revolutions in Egypt. 75% of the females surveyed participated in the revolution through social media only, and another 25% both in person and online, where male participants 75% in person and via social media. "85% of the surveyed believed that there were fake posts regarding the revolution in social media. 88% of people surveyed believed that there was no other way to resolve the conflict with the Egyptian government except the revolution. 69% of people surveyed believed that the revolution succeeded and in turn, change happened. When analyzing the whole study, we find that there are clear indicators that Twitter and Facebook were used aggressively and effectively to mobilize the Egyptian public via activists, state and non-state actors. It also appears that the amplification of social media posts had fueled the Egyptian streets calling for civil disobedience, which led to a successful revolution. The peer review findings fit with the surveys conducted, as 90% of the surveyed has participated in the revolution via social media or in person. Furthermore, the study finds that more than 85% of the Egyptians that participated in the revolution believe that there are fake social media posts and misinformation regarding both the government and the revolution. Moreover, this study proves that social media platforms are being used in behavior modification that could be used as a tool to spread democracy or to destabilize democracies. Since the late 2010, social media sites have been seen as an important tool in mobilizing and organizing Egyptian users through the revolution. Their effect implies that those concerned with quests for democracy and peace should pay more attention to the obvious and indirect effect of social media sites. However, fake news are narratives, and they are largely false or fictional. However, such news become very popular at certain times. For example, during elections, revolutions, and wars, fake news and fake posts is the most visible ingredient in the online information disorder, in which some social media platforms have a huge effect on users' access to information. These news postings and social media posts could range from deceptions and propaganda to disinformation, claiming to be real news, which now commonly circulating more and more on social media websites. Despite the government trying to criminalize them, or social media websites themselves trying to block them or fact check them, it is still impossible to block. It is also worthy to note at the conclusion that the August 2020 Chicago riots started after a massive retweeting of misinformative posts, according to the Chicago Police Department on social media, calling for riots and civil disobedience. You guys have a great one. Thank you.